Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm working on this little mini envelope junk journal project I have going. And what I mean by envelope is that I simply took two envelopes like this, and I only have one of these left, so I can't really totally show you with those ones, but two envelopes, and I put them together, one flap inside of the other. And then I use this to put in some coffee dyed pages and have made some flaps and good things. Mine was square and it started out just like this one here. What I really liked about these square envelopes, or I guess they're rectangle rather, is that I left one flap here as kind of a book plate or book divider, whatever you want to call it. So I have my two envelopes as the base. Then I put a quick cover. And then I stitched, well, not really stitched, I poked some holes and bound together some coffee dyed paper to get my pages. And this is kind of where we're at. I also used some envelopes so that I can have some little tuck spots to put some great stuff. And when I was making this edge here, so this is the inside of the envelope, like right here. And I just used some pattern cardstock with this yellow flower design here to back it, and it also stabilizes it a little bit too. And then this is another piece of cardstock, and I made it into another pocket, so there's actually two pockets here. And today I'm just going to start filling up some of these spaces. This is just a Project Life card that says hello. I thought it would be kind of nice if this little gold piece sticks out, and then when the person pulls it out, it'll say hello. This is a piece of gold note card, and I thought it would be great just to put in here. Maybe I'll write a little note on it before I give it to the person's going to. Oh, it looks like maybe that's a little big. Need to trim it down. Or maybe it'll work better the other way. Let's try this. There we go. Yeah, that works pretty good. All right, and also a big shout out, hello, and thank you to my friend Susie at Susie's Craft Room. She's got some great videos going on and is making a wonderful network of great crafty YouTubers, and she's really working on helping people build their channels up, and I really appreciate her. She helped me get this new setup for my camera, and so my husband purchased it and installed it, and it's wonderful. I'm loving it so far. I can like zoom in and zoom out, and it's just awesome. And it's not on my desk, so that's great. All right, well, let's get into this. This is something I had in my stash. It's a little metal embellishment paper clip that is, it says Friends, and it was yellow, and it just went so well. So we're just gonna leave that here for right now. This was an envelope, and so when I put it in here, it kind of divided into two spots, so it has little tucks, which I think is really great. And then this piece here, the back of the envelope, I put one of my Tim Holtz stencils and used some of the Dilutions spray to get this little sunrise. And my reasoning behind that is because I'm going to put this little piece of ephemera here that says hello there, sunshine. So let's glue that in now. I'm sorry if that's really close, you guys. My eyes are still not working with me, so we're just making it work. All right, we've got a good amount of glue on here. In these junk journals, I like to use liquid glue because it makes it a little more warped or bumpy looking. Some people don't like that. If you don't like that look, feel free to use like a glue stick or I guess pop dots or whatever you want to use. All right, so take some of this excess off. I'm gonna leave it stick up a little bit because I think it'll make kind of like a cute little tab. I might cover this on the side with some lace or something, I don't know yet. All right, so That's a little sticky. You'll have to be careful not to stick the next page to it. So this page here, I took some of my really old Ranger acrylic paint. This is from the Dabbers. And I just spread on there and let it dry. Not sure yet what we're gonna put on there, but let's see what we have going here. I've got some awesome Tim Holtz stamps and a little packet of ephemera that I picked out. Things I might want to include with this project. So we'll dig into this stash, make more of a mess on my desk, and see what we can come up with. Oh, that's kind of fun. Kind of forgotten what all I've got in here. I thought these pieces would make some really cute little belly bands. Maybe to hold one like this. So that'll be on one page. I've got several of those. I'm not sure what collection those came from, but or maybe they were just sent to me in a swap or something, not totally sure. This will be a really cute little tuck spot or something. Some fun tags. Little stickers. These are pretty. When I tore these out, these were in a little 4x4 pack. I left this corner piece on, and you can see that it's perforated. My thought was that if I wanted to make like a little swing too, I could leave that on there, and that's where I could put the glue. So sometimes it's nice to be able to tear those out whole. And this is some of that extra paper. I thought that might be fun. Make some pockets or something. On the back of it, it has this really fun, like, ledger. So that can be fun too. All right. Now I have a bunch of Tim Holtz stencils that are just, you know, a variety of sizes and different styles, and I really, really love these, so I thought we would do some stenciling on these pages here. In fact, maybe we'll put some over this paint. I think the coolest part about junk journaling is that you just can kind of do what you feel. And if you don't like it, you can always cover it up or try something new, layer it. Doesn't really matter. All right, let's try this stencil here. And we'll put some, I think I want it to go kind of like that. So I've got some Distress ink here. This is Walnut Stain. This is my small one. I hardly opened this one, so a little challenging to open. And one of my little daubers for the ink. Let's see how that's coming along. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. That looks kind of neat. Now with your stencils, you can just kind of wipe them off with a wet wipe or a wet cloth towel, and you can use an old rag or something, just pop it in the wash when you're done, or if you're using baby wipes, you can just toss them out. some of these little dots up here. That'll be really neat. Again, in the walnut stain, and just kind of brush it. These journals are so fun because you can use so many different elements and so many different techniques, and it just kind of anything goes. It's so cool. All right. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to put on there. This is the back of that page, and you can kind of see how that ink has just kind of bled through, and I'm kind of okay with that. I actually kind of like it like that, so I'm just going to go with it and keep moving. So some of these pages, I think I might do like some, you know, maybe make a little tuck pocket like this and decorate the front and the back. In fact, let's go ahead and try that out right now. Let's see what paper I've got on here. Piece of this one. Ooh, this one was a little envelope that I found too. I think this would be really great to stick on a page in here, just like this, and you can tuck some things inside of there. I pulled out a lot of things. Wasn't really totally sure what we were going to come across here. Let's get a piece of paper from somewhere and see what we can do. Let's look through one of these stacks and see what we've got here. Oh, that one's kind of pretty. I kind of like this one too. All right, well, choices, choices, choices. I think I'm gonna go with that gold one. I'll make it kind of a fun little pocket. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold this one the way that I think it should go. And I'm gonna leave it, kind of want it to be a little straight here at the bottom. And we'll just crease that. So now this is going to adhere to the next page. But before I get to gluing, I'm gonna put this paper on this back piece here. So if you're a measurer, you can measure. If you're not, that's okay too. I sometimes will just notch things or use a pen or whatever and then trim it off that way. And let me grab my trimmer here. And I need to figure out how much we need to trim off the top. Okay, right there. And then this piece I'll probably save because I can just glue it on somewhere else. It's just a little accent piece. Since the rest of this journal is pretty, I don't know, grunge looking, I guess would be the term, I want to go ahead and distress the edge on this paper. And I have one of these old, I guess I was told it's a vintage tool now, but it's by Heidi Swapp. You can use the edge of your scissors or just a razor blade, or you could tear the edge or whatever you want to do. Excuse the noise. We're just going to rough this up a little bit. There we go. See how it sort of just wears it down just a little bit. It does make a little bit of a mess too, so be warned. But I really like the look that it gives. Paper. Then I have just some gold ink, and I'm going to go ahead and ink the edge of this paper too. Okay. So, go ahead and glue this one in here. Now we are going to lose some of this really cool paper dyeing that happened. I had a piece of grid-lined paper, and the grids and the lines were in blue when I coffee dyed, and so I set them next to each other and we kind of got this cool blue, but we can use the back and kind of keep a hold of some of that so we don't lose it entirely. Alright, I think we're just going to glue it. I'm going to put glue on the page and okay. Don't think there's really a top or a bottom to this decoration on the page, so we're just gonna stick it and see how it goes. And I think that's quite nice, actually. Now, this side over here, we want to make sure we get this good and adhered, because we want this little page right there to be able to be flush over here in the corner. So now I'm going to put some kind of a pattern paper here. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep going with this same one or not, like this. But I think it might be nice to put it along the bottom here. And you have kind of a choice with this little pocket that you're making. You can make this be like a flip up, and you can journal under here. You can tack it down so that it's just a pocket right here. It could be both actually. You can tack it here and not tack it there. So if you're gonna glue this down, it doesn't really matter if you have enough paper to do this whole piece here, because you really just need to do the piece that's gonna be seen. Or you can do it with something totally different entirely. Kind of tie it all in together. Let's see. I'm gonna tear this out because then I don't have to rough it up as much. I kind of like this edge actually. So I think I might just do it like this and kind of leave a little bit of this paper on the outside, not covered with this decorative paper. So one quick way, you can fold this over, or you can just mark it with a pen and then trim it off so you know that you have your edge. And you can use a trimmer, you can use scissors. We'll just go ahead and scissor this across. Okay. What did we do? Yeah, we're gonna go like this. Go ahead and trace this one here. And the cuts on these don't have to be perfect because, you know, kind of the look I'm going for is more of a junk journal approach, so some roughed up edges are okay. Go ahead and do like this. And I think that'll be pretty just like that. And maybe we'll put some kind of sticker or ephemera or something right there. And then I'm going to go ahead with this piece down here, and I am going to go ahead and tack it down. So before we glue all of this, and I just notched that, so if you fold it in half, you'll have your line here, and then you can just scissor right across. And I'm gonna have to cut off a little bit of the corner over here. And just fold that down like that and snip away some of that side edge. And it fits right in place. Okay, so let's get some ink on this one. And I'm gonna, excuse my reach here, guys. I'm gonna use some of this VersaMagic Jumbo Java, one of my usual go-tos. I like my distress ink too, but I really like how the chalk ink helps with that vintage look. So let's put this down. A little bit of glue on here. I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom because I do want to see a little bit of this paper here. But I do want to make sure, stand it up and make sure that that edge will close. Isn't sticking out. All right, just going to rough these edges just a little bit. And somewhere, there we go, there's the gold ink. Alright, and so before I glue this one, I'm going to stick a little brad in the corner. So let me grab those. Close some of this ink so I don't get it all over myself. See what kind of brads we have in here. I think I'm just gonna go with gold. So I just got some gold mini brads. And go ahead and glue this top piece here, and then we'll poke a hole. So again, I'm leaving just a little bit of this edge. And poking tool here. Just looks like this. This is from We Are Memory Keepers, but you can use just a tack or a needle or a hole punch, whatever you have. And whatever you choose to do, just make sure you're aware of where it's poking. I've been poked myself so many times, so we're just gonna poke, I think, right here in the corner. And it goes all the way through. Put this brad in there. Sorry guys, I know some of you are like, just do it already, but I am working with limited vision and doing my best to just keep on crafting. Okay, I guess I should also mention too, if you're gonna use your brads, I just realized I got lucky there. Make sure you know how far you are from the edge versus how long the length of your little brad tabs are there. But I think that adds just a little something extra down the corner there. Then we'll go ahead and glue this to finish off that pocket. And again, you could turn this into a journaling tab or whatever it is that you wanted to do, but there's going to be so many tabs in here, I think I'm going to be okay. So on this piece here, I think I might use some brads as a closure. Put some glue in there, but we'll put some brads on the end too. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I really like my metal embellishments, and anywhere I can find to add them, I usually do. Okay, try and find two to match. All right, so same way, I'm just gonna move these out of the way so I don't send them flying. I'm just gonna poke here. I'm gonna leave a little room on the edge there, like here and here. We could go ahead and poke this all the way through the other page, and then it would hold the two together, but then our brad tabs would be showing out the back, so I don't think I really wanted to do that. Could easily cover them up with a layer of some sort of ephemera piece or something, but we'll just keep it simple, keep going. This one, I'm gonna turn it straight up and down here. Oh, this one's interesting. It has a tiny little flap on one side. Okay. So now if you're wondering what the other side of this is for, you can use it to kind of smash things down. And it also will separate them too if you can't get them apart. But I did okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and straighten these back kind of in a row. I'll just put some glue there. A little bit of glue down here at the bottom so that it continues at our pocket. Now you just want to be sure you don't glue it to whatever you don't want to glue it to. And you can put a little clip here to help it dry while it's drying, a little paper clip or something. Okay, I think that's just going to be really great to hold some of these little tags that we've got going here. And I've got one of these books. Where did it go? These heartwarming vintage collections, little journal notes. I wanted to use some of these in here. Oh wow, that's kind of fun, but it would go across the whole page. These are kind of cute. Let's see. These ones I've had a really hard time tearing out. Maybe it's supposed to perforate the top. Yeah. There we go. So this one I think kind of fits about this whole page here. And I think maybe I'll just make it a little tuck spot. Put this little piece. These are really cute. These little things. It says it takes a long time to grow an old friend. So straying a little bit from the yellow color, but I think it's okay. Kind of like this sentiment, so that works. Maybe we'll put a piece of this in the background to keep that yellow theme going. So this is the best part of these journals too, is that you can really learn to cluster things together. And what I mean by cluster is just kind of layer some of these things. I think that's really cute because that ties in both the blue and the yellow. So this one I'm just going to tear at the top. And then we'll ink everything and just glue it down. And maybe we'll leave this spot here for a little tuck. Can put like a little tag or something in there. So this one here is going to ink. Yeah, just a little more of this vintage look to it. I really like that this has some lines at the bottom too, because then you can do some journaling there. And this is the perfect blue tone for this paper that I've got that was kind of dyed blue. So, these pages, and then we'll glue it down. And just like that, we've already completed a couple pages in this book, so that's really great. I love how fast it's coming together now. I think so far the most time-consuming part was coffee dyeing the paper and waiting for it to dry. I was so ready to get going, and it was not dry. I like this piece of scrap. It has a little white swirl at the bottom. I think it'll show through just a little bit there. Okay, so these ones are ready to glue. This little banner piece I only inked part way because it's only going to show part way. And maybe we'll put it right at the edge of the words. The paper that I coffee dyed was pieces I tore out of a book that I altered, so I just saved those, and now as you can see they're coming in handy for this little book. So I think that is part of the junk journal way, is to just use what you have and use what you have on hand and make less waste. So you can turn like some trash into treasure. Excuse me. Okay, so I didn't glue on this one side because I want it to be a pocket. Leave some of this stuff on the edge, and I might go through once I'm all done and ink the edges of all of these pages just to get it a little more consistent of a look. All right, glue this one down. See, this was a birthday paper, but we're going to use the yellow side. Just going to share this glue here. Right at the edge. I think I'm gonna let this one come over a little extra because I want to be able to see that little spiral swirl. And we'll make this one a little pocket too, so I'm just gonna glue around this side. Lots of little tucks and pockets, and I think that'll just be so much fun. You can put little journal, bookmarks, tags, little notes. and just need to be aware of where all this excess glue is going. Make sure it's not going to stick all the pages together. Sometimes I'll only work on a couple pages at a time and just really allow it a couple of hours to dry in between, just so that things don't stick together. So this one I might put like a longer tag. It'll cover some of this too. It's really cool. And this one here might be a good place to put that belly band, but I might want to save that for a little later. I think I have 3 of these belly bands. Put them throughout the book. Try to kind of work as I see fit, but I also try to be mindful of where the tuck pages are, like the pocket pages, where the belly bands are, and try to do some variety in between so that it's not repetition. You can see here I've got a little doily, which is just so pretty. Oh, and then this was the page that actually dyed my papers blue. Was a piece of this, and I just folded it out because it was a little bigger. This is the center of the signature, but I just folded these down, and I'm just going to make them like this because they were a little bit longer than the other pages I've got going on here, so I just folded them in. And I might fold this down and make them like little, at least make one a little pocket. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Make one so that I can fold out. But that's what's great about these books. You can just really kind of do with them however you feel. And sometimes, as I work on them, the feel kind of changes a little bit. So that's, I think, the more fun about it too, is that, you know, you can work on it one day and have something totally different in mind, and then the next day a new idea comes across, and that comes out in the journal too. So I think I'm going to close it right here, you guys. Maybe I'll be back another day to continue working on this, but I need to let some of these pages dry or they're just going to all stick together. So I might go ahead and spray some of them too with some more ink so that they can dry as well. But for now, thank you guys for being here and crafting with me. If I get a chance, I will link some of the products that I use down below in the comment section, the description box below. I am an Amazon affiliate and definitely appreciate anybody who clicks on my link and helps me out in that regard. Also really appreciate all my subscribers. And for those new subscribers too, be sure to hit like and subscribe and share. And I'll see you guys next time in the next video.